So Mateusz Gamrot is a slight favorite over Jalin Turner, and I swear 90% of people are picking him to beat Jalin Turner, either by an early submission or just a 30-27 dominant grappling victory, controlling Jalin for 3 rounds. I say that Jalin Turner is going to go in there and knock out Mateusz Gamrot. That's what I think. And I understand why everyone is picking Mateusz Gamrot. They can't watch a fight that he had with Arman Tsarukyan and tell themselves that that guy is not going to dominate a striker if he's giving the best grapplers in the sport tough scrambling exchanges. What do you think he's going to do to Jalin Turner? But guys, styles make fights, and Jalin Turner is not your average striker. He's not 5'10", he's not 5'11", he's 6'3" with a 77-inch reach, with knockout power, with one shot, with the fastest left hand in the game right now. And Mateusz Gamrot never protects his chin at all. And I am very confident in this pick after watching both of these guys' fights for the past few days, rewatching a lot of them. I firmly believe that Jalin Turner, who in my opinion is a top 3 striker in the lightweight division, maybe the most dangerous striker, given that he's very unorthodox, right? It's very hard to prepare for a guy who not only is unorthodox, but is 6'3" with a 77-inch reach in the lightweight division, who has knockout power with one shot, wobbling power, and he's a southpaw. It's that left hand that you really have to worry about, and it's not just that. Mateusz Gamrot is not defensively sound at all. He always has his hands down. The way he evades punches is just by putting his hands up like this and just circling away. And Jalin Turner, with a 77-inch reach, who can catch you at the end of those long punches, has that wobbling power. And he follows up with combinations, constantly ripping to the body with a left hook and then following up top immediately. This guy has the best hand speed I've ever seen at lightweight. He is by far the fastest guy right now, mixed with the power, mixed with the combinations. And I would say that he's more well-rounded. Now, Mateusz Gamrot is not a one-dimensional fighter. He has decent striking, but I wouldn't even say his striking is on like a Colby Covington level. He basically doesn't have any power, very similar to Colby. He has a little bit of a slow twitch style. He's more unorthodox and throws less volume, and isn't as good of a wrestler as Colby Covington. He's a great grappler. He probably has better jiu-jitsu, but I think that he is in a way a poor man's lightweight Colby Covington. And I wouldn't say that he's even a top 4 best grappler in the division. He got exposed a little bit by Beneil Dariush, just a little bit. I mean, let's be honest. He's fought a bunch of killers who have his same style, right? Tons of grapplers, and he's taken them all down. But he has not, in my opinion, dominated enough strikers for me to just think he's going to go out there and take down Jalin Turner and just keep him down for 3 rounds. He doesn't have that style. He hasn't been able to control guys when he takes them down that often. And I understand he's fighting guys like Arman Tsarukyan, he's fighting guys like Beneil Dariush, but you have to go to his earlier fights. The only fight that was truly like that dominant versus a striker was Jeremy Stephens, right? But Scott Holtzman, just a few years ago, everyone's bringing up Jalin Turner's loss to Matt Frevola. This is when he was 23 years old. That was 4 years ago, for crying out loud. All this guy ever talks about is how he wants to get better, how he wants to be well-rounded. He's working on all of his weaknesses. He does not strike me as a guy that is not training his ass off year-round to become a champion. He's a very dedicated fighter. And Mateusz Gamrot couldn't at all, for the life of him, control Scott Holtzman. Another thing is, he's always getting caught at the end of people's combinations. Whenever he's in the pocket and he's trading with someone, he has his hands down, and the only way he evades is just by circling away. And I believe that the long 77-inch reach from Jalin Turner, 6'3", the height, all of that, he will catch Mateusz Gamrot at the end of an exchange, who always has his hands down, who leaves his chin exposed at all times. And because Turner's so fast, I think he's going to fuck him up with a good combination and put his ass out. He's going to wobble him and jump right on him. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if Mateusz Gamrot lunges in for a takedown while he's rocked and gets submitted with a guillotine choke. And that's why I'm ultimately going to pick Jalin Turner. I think he has more ways to win this fight. When I say he's a top 3 striker in the lightweight division, I think he's more dangerous than a Rafael Fiziev. Ever since Fiziev fought Bobby Green, he's adjusted his style quite a bit for MMA. He's much more technical, but he slowed his fight style down because he doesn't want to gas out anymore. And Jalin Turner has a very high pace of striking, and I've never really seen him gas out at all. I think in a way, Jalin Turner actually has a better ability to quickly finish guys off, especially with the added in grappling. With the knowledge that if his opponent gets rocked, he might shoot for a panic takedown, I can wrap him up with the guillotine. Because he's probably rocking guys all the time in training, because he's such an unorthodox lightweight physique. And just watch Mateusz Gamrot striking. He's slow, he's plotty, he lunges in, leads with his head, always has his hands down. He will take the bigger shots in his exchanges. And he just got dropped pretty badly by Beneil Dariush. And I know Beneil Dariush is tricky with that big left hand, but Jalin Turner has a piston of a left hand. He ain't coming over with no overhand right off the cage, duck down like Beneil Dariush. Jalin Turner whips the left hand out. He's a southpaw like a gunshot. And he's so quick to follow up with a body shot. He'll throw out a knee as a jab because he's really long. And I think those knees will be a big help to him because, again, he's fighting a grappler that's only 5'10", that has a 70.5-inch reach, that's going to be lunging in for single legs. That's Mateusz Gamrot's favorite entry. And I understand that Mateusz Gamrot can go in there and he can take Jalin down. I'm confident in the fact that Jalin Turner, ever since getting out-grappled by Matt Frevola, has really adjusted his game big time. He got taken down by Jamie Mullarkey, which wasn't a great look. But at no point in that last minute of the first round was he in any danger. I know it's Jamie Mullarkey, right? But dude, Jeremy Stephens is completely different than Jalin Turner. And I just haven't seen Mateusz Gamrot steamroll the guys. And I'm not on board with the idea that a Diego Ferreira is that goddamn great on the ground. He's very good. He's great with his jiu-jitsu. He's great with his submission defense. He knows what he's doing on the ground. But I think a guy in Jalin Turner who has shown that he has a very well-rounded game, who knows that his weakness is with the wrestling and with the grappling, and that's where guys are going to try to take the fight. I think he's probably at the point to where he can at least survive on the ground with a Mateusz Gamrot, who I don't view as some prolific finisher on the ground. He's good with his wrestling. He's phenomenal in scrambles. I just don't see him submitting Jalin Turner, who's got that long frame, long legs. He could throw submissions up as well to keep himself safe, to find a scramble. And I think that there are going to be minutes at a time where both of these men are in the center of the octagon, and Mateusz Gamrot is going to strike with him. And I think he's going to get caught at the end of one of these shots. I think he's going to get put down. It's going to be a TKO. If at any moment he gets a takedown stuffed, he's got his back up against the cage, I think that he's a sitting duck, because that's where Jalin Turner does his best work. That's when he's unloading with the left hand, with the hooks to the body. And he's so fast, man. His hands are so good. And he's got this power that just wobbles everyone that he hits clean. He's wobbling everyone that he fights like multiple times in these fights. And as soon as he lands one clean shot on them, he just goes into a technical frenzy and they have no chance to get out of it. So I think he's going to TKO him. And I would say it's going to be a second round TKO for Jalin Turner. I want to know what you guys think of this fight. But yeah, man, Mateusz Gamrot couldn't keep down Scott Holtzman. And Scott Holtzman is by no means like a world-class grappler. And I don't think that he's on the same level as a Jalin Turner. Jalin Turner's last, little bit of an embarrassing loss was to Matt Frevola when he was 23 years old. For God's sakes, he's so young. Mateusz Gamrot is 32. I don't know if he's rapidly improving that much. And there is definitely something to be said about the fact that Jalin Turner has been preparing for Dan Hooker, right? And that's a striker. I think we all know that he would have absolutely annihilated and ripped through Dan Hooker like the Terminator. But I don't know, man. It's very hard to prepare for Jalin Turner, even if you're getting ready for well-rounded guys or strikers. He's got such a weird style. And they call him a tarantula because like at any moment, this guy can just fuck you up from halfway across the cage. It's like he has 6 different legs and 6 different arms. Mateusz Gamrot has been training. This guy's always in the gym. He, like Jalin Turner, is not someone who's caught up in partying and all the bullshit, constantly doing podcasts or media. He is always training. And I think that he's been ready. You see photos of him with Dustin Poirier at America Top Team, sweaty after sparring sessions. Even during Christmas, this guy is fucking around in the gym. I think that he's going to be ready. I think he's going to get TKO'd, man. He's going to get TKO'd. Does not have good head movement. Always has his hands down and never fought a guy with as much power as Jalin Turner. And got dropped pretty badly in his last one. I think a lot of us are going to be disappointed because we look at both of these guys like future title contenders. But the thing is, Mateusz Gamrot has impressed us so much with his high-level scrambles, his high-level, well-rounded MMA game against guys like Guram Kutateladze, who we all know he was robbed against, and his fight with Arman Tsarukyan. And I rewatched that fight. I still gave 4 rounds to Arman. And Arman has piss-poor boxing, piss-poor hand speed. And that's why Mateusz Gamrot actually looked pretty decent on the feet in that fight. And he looked to be getting the better of Arman, but Arman has that kicking game that is pretty good too. He got dropped in that fight with a spinning back fist. I think I'm going to take the underdog here. And if you guys are going to bet on a fight and you want a good underdog on this card, go with Jalin Turner. I could just see him stinking up the party. A lot of hardcore MMA fans would be rooting for a guy like Mateusz because he's got such a beautiful style of grappling that we're not used to seeing. But Jalin Turner is a finisher, bro. He is a really prolific finisher. And he reminds me of like a Charles Oliveira on the feet. He just finishes guys so effortlessly and quickly as if nothing happened. You can't even believe your eyes. You blink and all of a sudden his opponent is on the ground and he's landing a couple of follow-up shots and the ref stepping in. I think that's what's going to happen. He's going to catch him with a right hand. He's going to catch him with a straight left or a hook. Follow up to the body. Maybe land a knee. Mateusz goes down. Follow-up shots up against the cage. He's out. Done. Everyone's upset because Mateusz Gamrot ain't going to be a champion at this point. He's got finished badly. You know, he lost his last 2 fights, arguably, because, of course, I think he lost to Arman as well. I think he's going to lose. Who do you guys think is going to win this fight? Let me know in the comments. I'm taking the underdog here, man. I am. I don't think that if Mateusz Gamrot gets him down, he can finish this fight. He's going to have to fight perfectly. He's going to have to stick to Jalin Turner like glue. The whole time, he's going to have to stick to him like glue. Hang on him. Clinch up against the fence, just do everything in his power to find a safe position on the ground. He's going to have to make it boring, in my opinion. And I don't think he's going to submit Jalin Turner if he can't get it done within the first few minutes. Once those guys start to sweat, it's all going downhill for him. So, picking Jalin Turner. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Until next time, TKO.
If you're using protein powder or mass gainer to put on size, you're doing something wrong. So I'm going to show you guys how to make a weight gain shake with real food.
Nothing but real food, guys. We're going to start with some full-fat Greek yogurt, high in protein and probiotics, some organic oats that'll reduce your LDL cholesterol, some good old-fashioned almond butter as well, heart healthy fats, and we're also going to add some bananas and more fruit for antioxidants, phytochemicals, good vitamins, some blueberries, cherries, some Ceylon cinnamon to reduce our LDL and help us to metabolize all the sugar, some good old vitamin D, and now we can add a scoop of whey protein for some flavor. I top it off with some milk, and this, guys, is how you gain weight. If you're struggling to gain weight, you're a hard gainer, try this shake out. You'll love it. It'll taste amazing. And for more meals like this, check out my Real Food Cookbook.